Welcome to LCJ Live. It is Sunday, April 19, 2020. I'm Lights Camera Jackson, and guess what? I'm going to talk to you right now about all the big new movies and TV shows that are streaming on VOD, on cable. There is so much happening. As always, send in your questions, your comments. It's also NFL draft time. Can you believe it? The NFL draft is Thursday night. It'll be on ABC at 8 o'clock, and I think it's going to do really well because this is Zoom. It's a Zoom NFL draft. People are going to be in different cameras, different homes, seeing if they're going to be in the National Football League. It is going to be something unlike anything we have seen before when it comes to the NFL draft. So that is Thursday night at 8 o'clock. It'll start on ABC, ESPN, and a bunch of different places. Just making sure technically that we are good here. I'm clicking on this, trying to see if we are all set here, having some technical issues possibly because my face looks frozen on the screen that I'm getting, but hopefully you're watching me right now here on LCJ Live. I am going to swing around. It's looking a little odd to me. Are we good? I think we're good. All right, I'll keep talking then. Bad Education, Hugh Jackman, Allison Janney. I saw this a couple weeks ago. You might have seen my review on Twitter at LCJ Reviews last night. This is a great movie. This is the best freaking movie of the year. I gotta tell you why. Because it is so engrossing. I don't care that this movie may or may not qualify for the Academy Awards. This is the best movie of the year. A TV movie is the best movie of the year. Guess what, HBO? You did it. Congratulations. This movie is fantastic. Watch it Saturday night, 8 o'clock, HBO. Hugh Jackman like you've never seen him before. Allison Janney, dynamic. What a story. It's captivating. It's engrossing. There's some instantly iconic scenes. Bad Education. Watch this movie Saturday night on HBO. NFL Draft will be happening this week. We'll see how it goes technically. All right, now I'm getting myself. There we go. It took a couple minutes here on Twitter, but now I got myself here so I can read your questions and your comments. Send them in to me on LCJ Live. Now Paris, there we go. Send them to me here on LCJ Live, and I will read them on the air. I'll answer your questions. Ask me about anything that's going on in the entertainment industry. Of course, there's so much happening in the entertainment industry with all these new movies, all these new shows. And I've been watching a lot of stuff. I watched the Chris Hemsworth action movie Extraction last night. This comes out on Netflix Friday. This is, it's got a lot of action. Wow, it is just violence on top of violence on top of violence with very little breathing room. And I'm going to have my full review on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. But there is just so much violence in this movie. Wow, Extraction. I've also seen a documentary called Spaceship Earth, which is about these people who were in Biosphere 2. Remember that from the old days? Biosphere 2 is when all these people were inside this glass enclosure for 2 years, and they couldn't get out and couldn't get much communication to the outside world. Or did they have much communication in the outside world? That's what Spaceship Earth explores. So I watched that. It's a documentary. Also watched a film called Sella and the Spades, which is on Amazon Prime Video, which is about boarding school, high school, basically drug dealing going on. Lots and lots of drug dealing. That's the whole operation. This girl Sella runs it, and all these different factions and all these different groups of people, and all they're doing is just selling each other drugs and getting high and all the stupid things about high school. That's Sella and the Spades. Also, Endings, Beginnings. Whoa. Love triangles, romances, they can be so complicated. I know. Love triangles can be so complicated. So Endings, Beginnings has Shailene Woodley, and it's got Jamie Dornan and Sebastian Stan. Women love these two guys, and women love Shailene Woodley too. And it's this love triangle. Who loves who? Who's with who? Who's having whose baby? There's all kinds of stuff going on in Endings, Beginnings. This is a romance film on video on demand right now. I watched that. It is so soap opera-y. All those daytime soaps and all those Bachelor, Bachelorette. At one point, Shailene Woodley's character refers to this whole thing as being like the Bachelorette. That's what it is. Though it still feels kind of old-fashioned in its execution and its storytelling style and its cliche feel and things like that. Endings, Beginnings. It's on VOD right now. What's up, Shane Mendez? Thanks for being here on LCJ Live. Watch this miniseries called The Eddy. The Eddy is from Damien Chazelle. Remember him? La La Land, Whiplash, First Man. He's back in the jazz club scene. He took a trip to the moon with Ryan Gosling, and now he's back in a jazz club, but this time in Paris. And the Eddie is about this nightclub. Andre Holland runs it. His daughter is played by Amanda Stenberg. Joanna Kulig from Cold War, really liked her in Cold War, plays the lead singer in this band that's at the nightclub, and some stuff goes down. And I have been sworn to secrecy by Netflix. Netflix is like, you cannot say this about the Eddie, because there's some major twist things that happen, even just in episode 1. So I watched the Eddie, and then I also watched this thing called Prop Culture. It's a new show on Disney Plus. It's a docuseries where this guy goes all over the country, possibly even all over the world, we'll see, to find all these different pieces of movie memorabilia from some classic Disney movies like Narnia, Muppet Movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, Tron, and Mary Poppins. And I watched a Mary Poppins episode the other night. Wow, truly moving experience. So there's a lot of stuff happening. You know what's on Netflix this week is The Willoughbys as well. They got Extraction on Friday. Wednesday, they're releasing this new animated movie called The Willoughbys. And I interviewed the director, Chris Perrin. And if you go to lcj.podbean.com, you can listen right now to the brand new LCJ Q&A podcast episode with Chris Perrin, the director of The Willoughbys. He did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, and now this big, crazy, wild, wacky, colorful animated movie called The Willoughbys, all-star cast. Kids are going to really get into this. It's out Wednesday. You know how I wrote on Twitter at LCJ Reviews the other day that Despicable Me was the #1 movie on Netflix in the U.S. because even a 10-year-old animated movie can still be popular viewing for families during this time. Imagine what a new Netflix animated movie is going to do for families during this time. That is The Willoughbys. They are ready, set, go on this on Wednesday. Check out that new LCJ Q&A podcast episode with the director right now, lcj.podbean.com. It'll be on the website very soon, and the text version tomorrow at animationscoop.com. Later this week, I'll also have a new LCJ Q&A podcast episode with N.D. Wilson. He is the author of this book called Hello Ninja. And Hello Ninja got turned into a TV show that is now going into season 2 on Netflix this Friday as well. Boy, Netflix, so much stuff. It is amazing how much stuff they have right now. But they still haven't determined when they're going to put the Lovebirds on there yet. I'm waiting for that. But Hello Ninja, it's this fun show for kids, animated show. Parents can watch it too. Season 2 this Friday, and this Wednesday, new LCJ Q&A episode with N.D. Wilson. May go up Tuesday, we'll have to see. What's up, L Mitz 91? Thanks for being here on LCJ Live. Also this Thursday, by the way, series finale of Will and Grace. Now, it's like the second series finale because this already happened once before. Will and Grace ended in 2006 after 8 years. Then they came back about a decade later, did 3 more years, and now they are officially ending this Thursday. But they're probably going to get crushed in the ratings by the NFL draft unless more people want to tune into the finale of Will and Grace. We will have to see. This Wednesday, of course, is Earth Day, and Disney is doing something with Jane Goodall. It's a new Jane Goodall documentary special debuting on Disney Plus and the National Geographic Channel. It is called Jane the Hope. That is this Wednesday, Earth Day, April 22nd. Earth Day, perfect time to, get outside as much as you can, a little bit, maybe in your backyard, and explore some things. This new Apple TV Plus animated short called Here We Are, Notes for Living on Planet Earth will do just that for you as well. It's on Apple TV Plus. Here We Are. It's this animated short film. It's actually 36 minutes long. And it's about this boy and his parents who go on this interesting little adventure on Earth Day. And it's also based on a book. And it's got Meryl Streep as the narrator, Jacob Tremblay, Chris O'Dowd, Ruth Negga in the voice cast. Here we are. It's really good. And at animationscoop.com right now, I've got my Q&A with the director and the producer of this short, Here We Are. So check that out right now at animationscoop.com. What's up, Lil Mookie B? Thanks for being here on LCJ Live. Send in your questions, your comments. What do you think about all these movies coming out? Are you excited for Extraction? It's Chris Hemsworth. Here's the thing about Chris Hemsworth. He's done some action movies outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but none have been really home runs. So Netflix, maybe a decent option, teaming up with the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers produced 21 Bridges, gave Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, a chance to do something non-Black Panther, and now they give Thor a chance to do something non-Thor. So with this movie, Extraction. So that is Netflix Friday. And I think people will get into it. But again, Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern, full review. You know, it's funny. I watch these screeners of these movies, and literally, not just my name as the sort of digital coding that's on the screener itself, but now it even says, you know, it's your name, your email address, and then this review cannot be published until Wednesday at 11 a.m. That literally is what it says on the digital screener that I watched for Extraction last night, reminding you that you cannot not even post comments on what you thought of the movie on social media. You know, studios are getting really taking some chances on the restrictions and things when it comes to when you can put out certain information, how you can put out certain information. But I appreciate everybody doing what they can during this time, getting these films and shows out to people, out to the general public, out to critics and reporters like myself, so we can talk about them in advance, write about them in advance, tell people whether they're worth checking out or not. The studios have been doing a really good job during this coronavirus time of handling this situation. And isn't it fascinating? I put this out on my social media a day or two ago. Cinemark says, look, we had our worst month ever, and it was 10% capacity for filling a theater, and we were still profitable. That, to me, is just crazy. When these theaters open up again, if these theaters open up again very soon, you're going to have people who I guess don't know each other sitting 6 feet apart, but again, the whole thing is just people making up rules as they go along. But if somebody is sitting here, and then they have to put like 2 or 3 seats in between somebody sitting here, and let's say in a 200-seat auditorium, you only get about 50, 60 people. Apparently, that's still really good profit-wise for a lot of these theater chains. Maybe not AMC, that's $5 billion in debt, but for all these other ones like Cinemark and Regal, that's something. That's really something. Here's my prediction. If these theaters open, let's say by July 1, and that's a big if, but let's say they open July 1, the first, to my knowledge, the first huge, major, gigantic release on the calendar moving forward for a theater is Tenet, which is the Christopher Nolan film, which is currently July 17. Mulan is a week later, July 24. SpongeBob is 2 weeks later, August 7. So you got a 1, 2, 3 power punch. If Tenet is the first movie, and you have let's say I've got an 8-screen theater near me. Say you got 8 screens. Frankly, week 1, I'd put Tenet on all 8 screens. Because you can do that now digitally, and if you want to stagger the times, and based on the number of people who will show up to the theater to accommodate everybody, I would put it on 8 screens. Then Mulan comes in the next week. If you've got an 8-screen theater, I'd put Mulan on like 5 of them, and then maybe stick Tenet on 3 of them. That's what I would do. And then you will judge based on how many movies come out at what time, how many screens they need. I've also got a 13 and an 18 screen theaters near me. There's a 10 screener. There's these indoor locations. Some are 6 screens. Some are 7 screens. I think what you have, and depending on what comes out, if Tenet is the first movie, if it is, you're going to try to fill as many of your screens as possible and stagger the times with Tenet, simply because you need to accommodate everybody. Everybody who wants to go see Tenet, who's a diehard Christopher Nolan fan, out of 100%, I would say, because it's a younger skewing Christopher Nolan, I'd say at least 90% of the normal group of people who'd want to go see a Christopher Nolan movie, who are under the age of 60, will go. Week 1, weekend 1, no matter what. And you're going to need to accommodate everybody who wants to see it at certain times. So if that still is the first film, then I would say you got to do that. If you're a 10 or a 13 screen or an 18 screen, you got to get it on at least half of your screens in your multiplex week 1. And then see how many you need to do moving forward. It's going to be a really weird time, having movies out in theaters, but not enough to add up to a full top 10 at the box office. It is going to be fascinating if we get to that point. All right, Bob Hall's got some questions here on LCJ Live that I will answer. First off, what do you miss most about going to the movies? Well, what do I miss most? The theatrical experience is a funny one, because sometimes you like being with other people in a crowd in like a big, highly anticipated setting. And sometimes you're just perfectly fine with seeing a movie by yourself or being one of only a few in the theater. I like, these theaters are great, supporting these theaters. That's what I love doing, getting out of the house and going to these places and supporting these theaters. And I miss the fact that, there are a lot of big movies. Look at Bad Education, The Willoughbys, a lot of big movies on streaming. But having these big movies being delayed, it's too bad. It's something we all have to get used to, but it's just too bad. So yes, I've always felt in the nearly 14 and a half years I've been reviewing films and things, sometimes I like the big crowd atmosphere, sometimes I don't. Because people can, talk, text, kids, there's a lot of factors that go into certain experiences. You want to experience certain movies certain ways. But I miss supporting the theaters. I think most of all, I miss supporting the theaters. What if they never properly get movies rolling out this year? What is award season like? Well, look, if the LA mayor doesn't want the Academy Awards to happen because he doesn't want any live, in-person, huge, major events, then you're going to see either a Zoom Oscars or an Oscars in some other city, or they're going to cancel the whole thing. My gut, and sometimes my gut is wrong, but sometimes my predictions and guts can be close to right when it comes to the oddest little things. My gut says award season's certainly not going to be normal this year. I think even some of the films that are scheduled to come out at the end of the year, or they'll try to sneak in, will not get in. I could see an Oscars like we've never seen before, done in a unique little way. ABC has the Emmys and the Oscars this year. If they potentially need somebody to kind of make sure nothing goes wrong for either of them, both of them, they'll bring in Kimmel to do them again. They'll bring in Kimmel to do the Emmys, they'll bring in Kimmel to do the Oscars from his house potentially, just to make sure nothing goes wrong and to do it in a certain way if they can't have him in person. So if they go down that road, I predict Kimmel will host the Emmys and the Academy Awards. What will happen to certain films? Will they keep getting pushed into 2021? Probably. Some will. Some may stay. Again, we got to see if the theaters can open. And we got to see how long the theaters can stay open for. If the theaters are open and can go into November and December, then we're in an interesting spot. But you're going to have a year like never before where, everybody always complains, the Oscars just honored movies that opened 4 weeks ago, and the Golden Globes and Critics' Choice and SAG. And the answer to that most of the time is yes, although this year was really different because you had a film with your Best Supporting Actor winner come out in July. You had your Best Actress winner come out in September. You had your Best Actor winner come out the first Friday in October. And you had Marriage Story, which I think I saw in October, but it opened like the first... Wednesday in November, something like that, fairly early. You had your 4 acting winners early, and you had Parasite, your Best Picture and Best Director winner, open in I think, October 11, I think it ended up opening. So that's fairly early. This was a early year when it came to the impact of movies and who won at the Oscars and at many of the other major award shows. 1917 was the film that snuck in literally at the end to shake things up. Got far, but not as far as Universal anticipated. So yeah, you're either going to have a year that honors movies that basically opened within a 5-week period, which I don't think feels right. It's never felt right to look at it that way. Or the studios are just going to say, well, or the awards groups are going to say, we can't do it this year. But then you're going to have people like Pixar, who put out Onward at the beginning of the year, go, well, we put out a movie legitimately. We should be honored for Best Animated Film. If this is our only film, we should be honored in some way, shape, or form. Are people going to complain about the movies that opened in the first 10 weeks of the year not getting recognition? Are people going to complain like trolls at DreamWorks saying, we put this movie out on VOD, we changed the game, and you're not going to honor us correctly, appropriately, Academy, and all the other awards groups? Are they going to complain? I don't know. Because depending on how far this goes, will studios want to complain in these settings? I don't know. It is going to be an interesting time. I would not be surprised if everything gets canceled when it comes to award season. I would not be surprised in the least. Even if some films like No Time to Die still come out, and Onward, and Soul, and Black Widow, and stuff around Christmas time, even if they're still released, I would not be surprised if they just say, sorry, we can't do it this year. It's a little conundrum, but we will have to see. Oh, Bob Hall, thank you. Love the globe puzzle you made. How long did it take? Watch the video. Watch that video. It took 10 hours, and I'll show you in that 2-minute, 20-second period why it took 10 hours. So check that out. What's up, Turner Barrelman? Thanks for being here. L Mitz 91, thanks for being here on LCJ Live. Love doing that globe puzzle. Supposed to be getting another puzzle really soon. I can't tell you what it is yet, but fingers crossed that another puzzle arrives. I mean, here's the thing when it comes to award season. I was thinking about this the other day. Screeners come to my house. Screeners come to the house of all Academy members, Critics' Choice members, SAG members, all of them. I don't know, because everybody's getting these movies on streaming. Do screener discs need to show up for films from early in the year? No. I think that saves studios some money, who need the money right now. And when it comes to putting out the little movies at the end of the year, I don't know. Because, I appreciate the fact that these film festivals, and I've got some near me, whether it's the Berkshire International Film Festival moving to September, Woodstock Film Festival early October, Film Columbia mid to end of October, they still want to go on. They still want to go forward. I hope that happens. It'll be interesting how they accommodate everybody. If everybody has to sit 6 feet apart or have the masks or whatever, that's not as many tickets as you'd normally have. There's a lot of questions when it comes to film festivals. I think canceling Comic-Con was the right call. Not surprised. Just too many people in a crowded place. Who knows? Next year's Comic-Con could be canceled. We don't know how long this is going to go on for. The deaths may stop. Fingers crossed. The number of people who get it may slow down. But there's still going to be this hesitation from people on whether to try to get back to normal right away. There's still going to be this hesitation. There already is this hesitation of starting up again. And I think this hesitation is going to linger a little bit. And it's okay that it will because we're in unique circumstances, but I just think that's going to happen. And I think that's going to affect the movie theaters. Hopefully the drive-ins can get open, but I think it's going to affect the indoor theaters. So yeah, look, it's a weird time. It's a different time. It's a unique time. And I'm here to help you out. Seeing these movies, seeing these shows, watching a lot. And I'm here to help you and tell you what to watch, what you should skip, what to watch with your families. There's so much going on. And next Sunday here on LCJ Live, we'll talk about more that I'll hopefully get to see this week. More movies, more shows, what's happening in the world of entertainment, movies, and TV. For more, go to lights-camera-jackson.com, Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson. Follow me there for some of the rapid reviews. And I hope you all are safe, you're positive, you're healthy. Enjoy Earth Day as best as you can on Wednesday. Enjoy spending some time with the people you love. Give somebody a call. Give somebody a Zoom, a FaceTime, a Skype, whatever you want to do. Do that. This is the time. This is the time to do that. And enjoy watching movies and TV. The Michael Jordan documentary series starts tonight. That's going to be big for ESPN. So yeah, we'll get into all that again next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. This officially began the start of the third year of LCJ Live. We kicked off this show April 15, 2018. Celebrated 2 years last Sunday on Easter. And guess what, guys? We're almost through April already. We're almost 2/3 of the way through April. I think it's going a lot quicker than March did. I really think so. So we're almost there. It's almost May, warmer weather, summer. Maybe we'll get back into the swing of things. We'll see. I'm LCJ. Thanks for watching LCJ Live. Enjoy the NFL Draft. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good week. Stay healthy. Stay positive. Bye-bye. Thank you.